As you know, I need to consult the oracle before I even attempt to draw. Oh, grand wheel of destiny, what shall I, your humble servant, do? Oh, digital drawing. Crap. Well, hello there, I'm Detroit. As you've seen, today I'm going to draw digitally. I can't do otherwise, the wheel of destiny has said so. There's nothing I can do about that. You can't simply overlook fate and go against the oracle. And you can't definitely re-roll until the right prompt comes up and then cut to the right take in Premiere Pro. Even if you've already done the drawing or drawings before coming up with the intro. Now I've made it particularly tricky for myself because I wasn't supposed to draw digital today. I mean, I can do whatever I want, but if you follow my work for a certain amount of time, you know I like to alternate between a pen and paper drawing and a digital one. And if you haven't followed my work, please subscribe. It won't be a bother to you, but it will definitely mean the world to me. It's really hard to get traction, you know? Anyway, as I was saying, I like to alternate the medium I use for my art. I don't know why. I think it's because when I started making videos, like 9 months ago, I didn't have the tools to record physical drawings. I also didn't have a good microphone that I could use. That's why my first few videos are all digital. At the time, I also started my Instagram account at d3_sd, and it had been a long time since I last drew. Let me give you some context. Last winter, I was in a slump. I was a bit depressed and I needed some change in my life. That's why I decided to pick up drawing again, something that I had put off for a few years because I was busy with school and everything. So in order to force myself to get back into drawing, I made up a challenge for myself. On my newly created Instagram page, I forced myself to post a new drawing each day. Now that's a challenge. It meant that every day I had to draw. I often compromised the quality for the quantity. During the 99 days I did that, but quality wasn't my objective at the time. My goal was simply to take the habit of drawing every day, and I certainly did. The reason I'm saying all that is to show you that when you make up your mind, you can do anything, and also that it's important to start with small goals. Start with draw every day instead of become an artist. It's way easier. Something very interesting that you can observe when you scroll my Instagram page from the bottom to the top is that at some point in the 99 days I slowly started to incorporate physical drawings in the middle of digital ones. At first sketches and then a bit of abstract here and there. And here's something you need to know. A few years ago when I drew, it was all abstract patterns. Only that. And man, did it feel good when I started doing that again last spring. Moving on to the 99th day of me drawing regularly, I realized that I had accomplished my goal of drawing every day. It had become a habit. I've seen studies saying that it takes 66 days to make up a habit. Well, I did 99, but now I realize that with my schedule, a drawing a day was feasible, but a good drawing a day was hard. Sometimes you want to spend a couple of hours more on a piece to make it feel complete. So I stopped the daily Instagram posts. And by this point I was pretty much alternating between drawing digitally and physically. And that, my friends, brings us to today's topic. The wheel of destiny in the intro is forcing me to draw digitally for this video, but that sucks because every week I alternate sketchbook drawings and digital drawings. Today was meant to be a fountain pen drawing, and that's exactly what you're watching right now. But somehow I need to make it digital. On another matter, that's one drawing completed. I did this page of my sketchbook, but it felt kinda bland, kinda easy. In my mind, this drawing you're seeing completed now isn't worth an entire video, so let's scratch that and move on to the next page of my sketchbook. So this is the drawing that I will make digital. I had the idea of making it digital while I was drawing it. After the last drawing and the void it made me feel, I wanted to experiment with a new pattern. Thinking back on it, it's a bit reminiscent of the style I used in the spider crab video. I grew tired of the last drawing and this one needed to be different. The thing is, along my journey as an artist, I've done a lot of abstract drawings. I'm often trying to tweak the patterns or find new ones. But the last drawing, it's very easy and close to what I did for the boob video. Or kinda similar to this post on Instagram. It's not satisfying enough to repeat the exact same thing in more than one drawing. At some point I even made a video featuring like 20 different patterns, and I didn't want this video to be just me using one of them again. And with all that in mind, this is what I came up with. In my head, this is a desert city, maybe ruins, probably ruins. Because of the heat of the desert, or because some magic is at work, all the dilapidated buildings are kind of blending together into a hot mess, making it hard to discern what is in the front and what is in the back. For the sake of added challenge, I did it in one single continuous line. To be fair, it wasn't that hard. It only took like a third of the page, and the drawing in itself only lasted like 15 minutes at most. And that's the strange thing. The last drawing, which is page 6 of my sketchbook, took me an hour and a half. This one, page 7, took 15 minutes. I divided the time by 6, and yet this one felt more satisfying. What's more, this one I could turn into a digital drawing. So let's head over to Photoshop, now that this is finished on paper. I've decided to skip over the cleaning process, simply because I've done an entire video on that already. You're here to see this turn into a strange drawing, not to hear me repeat myself. The process from now on is really simple. Polygonal lasso tool, select a color, fill in the shape over and over. The palette I've chosen comes from the color box that is already implemented in Photoshop. I chose the box that resembled a little bit the color of sand. The only trouble really was to alternate between dark and light so that shapes close to each other would still read differently. Another thing I had to think about was determining where to end the shapes. Because it's made of continuous lines, each building is hard to separate from the others. And I mean, it's the whole point of this style really, so I should have expected this much. Anyway, at the end I tweaked the colors a little bit, added a multiplied layer with a soft warm purple. I then did a background quickly, but I'm not sure if I'll go with it or not. Check the post on Instagram that came up right as I made this video public to see if I kept the background or not. So, in conclusion, prophecy fulfilled. I did some digital art. Schedule respected. This week's video was a sketchbook physical drawing as well. I experimented with a new thing, so that's good too. Am I ready to call it a day and move on? Yes! I hope you enjoyed this drawing process. If you did, don't forget to subscribe. I'm trying really hard to get some new subscribers here. Next goal is 100. And with that in mind, I'll see you next week. Have a good one. Bye!